Good afternoon, folks. I'm Manny Vitale, host of Manny Vitale's Wolfpack. And, we have a very special guest today. We have Sean Hunt, who is just an incredible woman who has a very incredible story to tell, which I wish she didn't have to tell. But she's doing so that other mothers hopefully never have to feel this. And we are going to be discussing her son, Jason Hunt, who was killed in Pontiac on January 14th of this year. And we are not going to let his voice be silenced. So this is going to be Say His Name, Jason Hunt. And this is Sean Hunt, Jason's mother. Sean, thank you. Thank you so much. I can't imagine, how hard this is. So for you to come out here and to talk about this to help others and just to kind of, you let his voice be heard and not silenced. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And it's getting to know you, Mama Bear.
Absolutely.
Man, Mama Bear. So you know what? We're just gonna jump right into this and talk about Jason. And the stories that I have gotten to hear. Obviously, I didn't know you were Jason, but have been just so touching. In so many different ways. Just even though I've never met either one of you, it's like I just by the stories, I can just see the type of person. And it's a privilege and an honor. So thank you again. So yeah, man, let's just start out talking about Jason as far as wherever you want, man. I mean, as a child who's growing up, I mean, all these other things, you jump in wherever you want to start with that smile, man. There's so many. But yeah, man, let's just hear about them.
Well, there's a lot of stories about Jason that I can tell. I can go on for days talking about, who knows, I can go on forever talking about Jason because he was such a incredible human being, not just my son. He was an incredible human being who cared for so many people. And before Jason was murdered, let's call it what it is, he just wasn't shot and killed. My son was murdered. Anytime it's intentionally, deliberately, it's murder. That just didn't happen by coincidence. He wasn't the shooter that took my son's life. There was no danger. Jason didn't threaten him in any way.
And Sean, he didn't know him. They didn't know each other, so there was no connection.
There was no connection. He just decided that day, because he had a gun in his hand and it made him feel like a man, that he was going to take my baby, Jason Hunt, life. With Jason, that's not what he expected when he walked out of his apartment that him and his brother stayed in together. Before Jason left, brothers do what they do. They dap up, say, I'll see you later. We're going to play the game, things of that sort. And say, I'll holler at you later. Jason left only to not walk back through him and his brother's door. I had just talked to my son that morning, and he's an artist. He's a phenomenal artist who was about to blow up. And he had a show that night, and he told me about it. And I called him and I said, well, how was the show, Jason? And he was like, it was great. I did so good. I'm like, good. That's my son. That's what you do. And he was just so happy about it. We just talked, and he was happy about it. And before we hung up, I said, I love you. And he said, I love you too, Mom. Not knowing that was the last time I was going to tell my son.
Yeah, and this, like I said, this happened in Pontiac, and he was not alone. He went to this studio where that was his other home, man. That's where he did his music. That's where he did his passion. And there was no reason for him to feel threatened. There was no warning signs. There was nothing. He went there to do what he loved, make music. So, I mean, it's just goes to show you, senseless as anywhere. But, you know, so it just, like you said, there was no connection. And
No.
so,
Like I was saying, that I didn't know that would be the last time I would tell Jason, my son, my baby, that I love him. And I got the devastating phone call maybe about 4 hours later after we had talked, from my baby sister. And we hadn't communicated in a while. And, you know, she called me. My phone rang once and I was doing something. I'm like, okay, I'll call my sister back after I'm done doing what I'm doing. And then the phone rang immediately after that again. And I said, okay, let me answer this. I took the phone call. And of course, my baby sister greeted me. Hi, Sean, you know. And she said, I got something to tell you. And I said, you know, what's that? You know, I'm like, what? And she was like, Jason is gone. I'm like, yeah, he gone. I know he gone. And she clarified that for me. She was like, Sean, Jason is gone.
I mean, so a phone call like that, nobody expects. I mean, even when you hear those words, it doesn't seem real. Um, to get that phone call, just like you never expected that when you talk to them, no one knows when you talk to someone if it's the last time or not. So to hear that and to hear those words, I can't even imagine, Sean.
It was the worst phone call ever that I took in my life. The worst.
I mean, I could see your sister try. I mean, there's no easy way to put that. So obviously, once you understood what she meant by it,
Yeah. I, of course, being a mother, you know, you immediately, yeah, you just, it's disbelief. Like, no. And that's what I kept saying to her. Like, no, 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 don't say that. It's not nice. You know, my son is not gone. Why would you say that to me? And it was true. It was very true. So of course, you know, I went through the house tearing up stuff, kicking stuff, hitting stuff, you know, what a mother would do. You know, you receive something, a phone call of such magnitude. How do you not be enraged, upset, just losing it? And I had to leave the house and uh, go to where my baby was. And, you know, I wasn't allowed to see Jason that day. I wasn't allowed to see him for a couple of days. Yeah, I wasn't allowed because where he was shot, the areas where he was shot, they wasn't sure if he was going to be viewable. So they told me I couldn't see him. As a mother, just lost a son, and to be told I can't see him, that was, I don't even know how to put that in words, how I felt. Um, I had to wait. I had to wait a couple of days before I could see my baby. And they told me, okay, he's okay for you to see. He's okay for you to look at. And it was the worst day ever to see my baby. The worst. You know, you don't think that you're gonna lose your child before you go. My baby was only 27 years old. 27. He was just getting started in life. He was ready to do things. He was ready to settle down, have kids. He was ready to do all those things, and that was taken from him.
And the thing is, Jason, I mean, there was no history. There was no violence. There was no beef. There were no warning signs. There was nothing to show that this was nothing except another day. This was another day, to talk to mom. This was another day to go to the studio, another day to make music. And you just never know what the day is going to hold. And I can't imagine, they say there's no love like a mother's love. Obviously, I will not know and understand that. But the loss, and I, like I said, just hearing your stories and hearing the type of man, there was no anger. I mean, the stories of caring and just the love, especially like you said, the connection with you three, with
Yes.
him and his brother and you.
Yes.
A lot of siblings. I'm the only little terror in my mother's life, but you hear about some bickering and stuff
Yeah.
but you said from day one, not only were you and Jason and his brother also, but you three just had this bond. And,
Yes.
there was always like when we met that day, you were like, you said, we were like this.
We are so intertwined.
yeah.
Nobody could break us, even if you wanted to try to pull us apart. You couldn't do it.
And you said it was like that since the time they were little guys.
Yes.
All the way growing up, that it was one, you had the other. They had each
Absolutely.
other's backs.
Absolutely.
And not only that, but you had their backs, and they loved and respected you that much, which is
Yes.
such a testament to you as far as raising them. And so some people think that well, was there a backstory? Was there violence? No. This was a loving family. A great young man with a talent that the singing. Not only that, but I got to see when you first said about an artist. I'm thinking, you discussed his music and all that, and you're like, no, Manny, an artist.
He's an
And when we met, Sean brought this sketchbook.
Yeah.
And it was like, you talking about talent. Not only did he touch people with his music, his drawings and his artwork were incredible.
Phenomenal.
And he got that. And so that's a beautiful thing. But his music and then his words. And you said too, something about Jason is his hugs. I know you said that, sometimes when you get, youngsters and teenagers, get away. Especially if there's friends around, don't be doing that. My rep, no. But you said that wasn't him.
That wasn't Jason.
There was hugging.
Lots of hug. He was never afraid to show affection, to me. He gave his hugs. They are so unexplainable. The way he hugged me, it just exuded love. He just would just hold me and just, I don't know.
You said that
he would hug me so
gave
tight,
you that bear hug,
and he would just rock me like,
that's it.
I love you. I love you. And that could just go on forever between him and I, because that's just the type of person my Jason was. He just, and I shouldn't say is, because he might not be here in physical form, but he is always, always, always with me. No matter where I go, Jason is with me. He's my guardian angel now.
Yeah, when you were describing some of the stuff, obviously this is extremely hard, but seeing your face when you were going from these terrible subjects and stuff in these time frames, but then the hugs. I mean, just like flipping a switch, seeing you, and all of a sudden, because it's like you feel it, and just the smile, and then It just
Yeah.
wait. What do you say? The just oh, I mean, just that I've never seen it, but I could just see his face. It's just like I got and then I got you.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Yep. And he was happy that he was taller than me, and he could hug me like that because I was in his chest now. So I'm in his chest now, and he's, above me, and just those hugs and the rocking and the, I love you. And as you can see, that right there brings such a smile to my face, and it brightens my world to know I had those type of hugs from my son. Like Manny was saying, he was a grown man. He 27 years old, and he still hugged me like he was a little kid. And he's been hugging me like that since forever. Jason was never afraid to show affection to me. Even growing up, him getting into middle school, that's the age where you like, don't kiss me, don't do none of that.
Before we get to school.
Yes.
Let's hear.
Yeah. Jason, that wasn't him. Every morning he would come into my room, let me know that he was getting ready to go off to school. And before he left the house, he would always give me a kiss and tell me he loved me. Now, this is in his teenage years. He still made sure he came to say, I'm leaving, Ma, I love you, and would give me a kiss.
Well, even after, because your son, they moved in together.
They moved in together.
Here you think siblings, and again, here's me just seeing all my crazy family and the cousins and my crazy friends. When you get the siblings, first thing they did was when they got the chance to say, I went this way, and then went here. They stayed just like you said. But when like you said, the I love yous, the hugs, that didn't stop because he, always getting the calls.
Yep.
Just like you said, always the I love yous, and and that's something, Sean, that I talk about all the time. Is that you got all that, and because people, I said, tell people how you feel because you just don't know.
You don't.
But for him, those hugs and those kisses and I love you, and he's just you could just feel life with Jason.
He was the best, and I raised him, his brother, to always stay tight. Don't let nobody or nothing come between y'all, because if you do, you're gonna have to deal with me, because that's not the way I'm raising y'all. Y'all take care of each other. You two are each other's brother's keeper. You seen the drawing.
I was just gonna say there was a beaut. We'll show you again next time.
Yeah, next
but
time.
Is it okay if I?
Yeah.
Matt, we were sitting there, and after I realized she was talking about artistic as far as drawings, we met for lunch, and she showed me the sketchbook that she got, and didn't even realize these sketches until she was going through some of the stuff and saw this artwork and A's, just and the art teacher with this great feedback. And as she's flipping through, there was one that he drew. It was a beautiful rosary, and intertwined within the drawing, it had, did it say my brother's keeper. I mean, sums it right up. I mean, as far as Jason, I mean,
Jason, he adores his big brother. He would tell you he got the best big brother ever. Their bond, they were so tight, and I raised them that way, and I'm proud of myself for raising my boys the way that I have, to be intertwined so close that nobody could come between them. Darquise was his big brother, and Jason was his baby brother, and nobody could mess with that. Nobody could mess with him without having to deal with Darquise. You mess with my brother, you mess with me.
What's the The ages.
Darquise is 32.
Okay.
Jason 27.
Okay. So, because sometimes even there, when you get, that just shows again the love, because sometimes with you get a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to take him with me.
Yeah.
But instead is I'm taking you with me.
Yes.
I mean, that just,
Darquise was very loving on Jason from when he was in the womb. Jason, Queese would talk to Jason constantly.
so he was right there rubbing the
Right
belly,
there.
talking.
My little brother, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to meet you. I love you. He would sing to him. He would rub my belly, and
man, they had that. You talk about brothers. That's the true meaning right there.
Yeah.
And like I said, the stories are just so touching, man. And I could, as you're telling these stories, I'm just picturing them, and I could, like when you talked about the hugs, man, I could see him like in the living room when you come in, all of a sudden him just grabbing you and doing all that.
Yeah.
When you're talking about him and his brother, I can just imagine. But because by the stories you tell and with the love and passion that you tell it, you see it. You see the reality of it.
Yeah, that's Jason. His thing was, I got you. That's what he said. I got you. Whenever somebody asked something of him, or if they needed him, just as a friend, I got you. And he would tell me that, and his brother that all the time. That was his thing. I got you. And it just resonates. And to this day, when I talk to people would say, Jason would say, I got you. And even his brother and myself, to each other, I got you. We would tell each other, we all we got. And that's how we rolled. Me and my boys, we all we got.
And you know what? It was for real, for real.
For real, for real.
For real,
that
for
was
real.
Another thing. For real, for real. I got you. And I would always say, and he would be like, for real, for real.
For real, for real. These, like I said, Sean, when you told me these stories, it's not like we sat there and went over and over and over this. You told me this one time. And it sticks in here. Mm-hmm. I don't forget anything. But when you talk, I mean, your raw emotion and love, it just means so much, and it's so true and real that your words are going to affect a lot of people. It's affected me, and I feel like I know him. Yeah. And it's just it's very it's having you on is a pleasure, but because of this, obviously not, but for you to do that, just to let people know, man, that this is such senseless stuff. And we are going to discuss that too, as well. This is, like I said, the main thing with this is say his name.
Say
his name. Jason Hunt. Jason Hunt.
J''S-O''N. Jason, not Jason. Jason. Say his name.
Yeah,
he will not be silenced, because I won't let him. I am his mouthpiece now. I'm his voice, and I'm gonna make sure his name is heard and said correctly. Just say it, period. Jason, say his name.
I'm telling you, man, and just the type of person he is, and with the how strong. I mean, that this relationship and bond with your family is just incredible, and it will never end, like you said, and it hasn't.
No,
because I know that you shared a few stories. Sometimes people, like you guys know about my story with people I've lost and certain things that have happened that I've shared. We discussed a few things, and Jason is a character.
He's funny.
He is a character, and he's got jokes.
He's got a lot of jokes.
He got a lot of jokes. So would you like to share some? Because I mean, I tell you what, in fact, when you first got here, all of a sudden I heard something about, and then the dog. I was like, oh, what Jason do? And sure enough, so if you know, we all have spirits around us, guardian angels. I believe that. If you don't believe, I don't care. But you know, you want to shed a little light on the kind of character that he and the
Yes.
jokes he's got.
He got my baby sister. My baby sister gets freaked out about stuff like this. You know, she gets really freaked out. And we were on the phone talking. She was calling to check in on me and, you know, do the sister thing. We was just talking. And then all of a sudden I heard her say, Jennifer, stop being weird. You're being weird. I'm like, what is she talking about? And then she was like, okay. He said he loves you. I'm like, okay. And Jason chimed in and said, no, tell her I said I love her. And then she goes, okay. Jason said he loves you. So, so she got all weirded out about that. And I thought it was funny, but touching at the same time, because this is Jason. This is what he do. And for him to do it to my sister, I mean, it was hilarious because of how she feels about stuff like this. It just freaks her out. But now she's embraced it. And when Jason pays her a visit, she embraced it and she loves it. She know it's Jason.
Because Jason messed with the dog.
He messed with the dog.
Her dog, right? Her dog.
Her dog.
Yeah, it messed with her dog. And then her daughter was like getting mad at the dog because it was messing with the energy in the room.
She was like, that's Jason. Stop messing with his energy. He's here. But, you know, Jason paid my sister a visit again. And they have a dog, Stormy. Stormy started going crazy. She was looking, she made contact and wouldn't take her eye off of whatever it is she was seeing, barking up a storm. She would not stop, growling, doing all kind of stuff. And that's when my niece came out of her room and was like, Stormy, you are messing with the energy? It's Jason. Leave him alone. And I can see Jason because I know my son, he doesn't really care for dogs.
Right.
And I could see him going, shoot, get away, just go, get, because the dog eventually got away and went into my niece's room. That's Jason. And my sister said that her TV was on, and then all of a sudden it lost sound. But the minute that she acknowledged that Jason was there, the sound came back.
You know, it's just and he is a character. I mean, he's a joker and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But and I don't know if we're talking about your favorite flowers. I don't know if you want to go there or not, but it's such a beautiful story. That's your call.
Yeah.
Because when you and the days that this happened, it was just like, you gotta be kidding. And not once, but wasn't it three? Twice. And yeah. What were the flowers?
Lilies.
Sean's favorite flower, lilies. And we were discussing this too one time about Jason. And yeah, the character, the joking, the fun and all that. But we also know the love, the hugs, the kisses, the I love yous. It never goes away because, you know, the lilies mean everything to you.
It means everything
and
to
I remember, you know, you made a comment that you tell.
When my son's life was taken, he knows that he always got me lilies, because that's my favorite flower. And once his life was taken, I said, Jason, who's going to give me my lilies?
Mm-hmm.
And the day before Mother's Day,
of all days,
the day before Mother's Day, I got a package in the mail, and my significant other was like, "You got something? You got a package?" And I'm like, "Me? Got a package? What is it?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know. Open it." So I opened up the package. my lilies.
Got the lilies.
I got my lilies from one of my good girlfriends, and I call her the daughter I never had. And she's in Vegas, not knowing that lilies are my favorite flowers. But Jason knew how I felt about her. I would always talk about her, and he knew how I felt about her. So he chose her to send me my lilies the day before Mother's Day.
Yeah, because there was it didn't know. I mean, as far as what kind, right?
Nope.
And I mean, so here you're getting the jokester messing with the dog, messing with Storm, messing with your sister,
Yeah.
knowing, because I remember you saying before that the backstory on that was how she got freaked out because of a passing of a relative in the past. It kind of freaked her out, and your son knew that. So it's like,
yeah,
right, watch this.
Yep.
And then to Stormy and all that. So you're seeing the love, the laughter, the joking, and then mom and the lilies, and you just the type of person. But that wasn't the only time with the lilies.
No. I like to call it his resting place. Other people call it what they want to call it, and that's fine. I call my son's resting place his resting place because that's what it is to me. And one night before the 4th of July, where he's resting at, they have it to where you could see the fireworks from where the place is. And his father and his wife came up, his stepmom, they came up, and she said, I got something for you. I'm like, little old me, you got something for me? And she was like, yes. And as she's walking up, she had 3 plants that were lilies.
I had no
Not
idea.
knowing that lilies are my favorite flower. You tell me that ain't my son making sure I'm getting my lilies one way or the other, even though he's not here. He's making sure his mama get her lilies.
Talk about love. You talk about love, honor, and respect of a son. You can't give much more than that. You made one comment. You said, Jason, who's going to get my lilies?
Who's going to give me my lilies now?
And what happened? Jason is going to do it just like he has in the past.
Yep.
And that was just, and the thing is, when you first told me this, I thought, okay, well, they knew that was your flower. Then when you said, no, they didn't, that was like,
no.
I'm like, Jason, you're good.
Neither person
you are good.
knew that lilies are my favorite flowers. Jason got me my lilies. My oldest son got me my roses. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it just, it's like I said, not knowing him, it just shows, it just paints that picture. Just using that term, paints that picture. Here, an artist, not only a singer, artistic with drawing. I mean, this stuff, the talent. I mean, what a gift, man. What a true gift. That Jason Hunt, say his name, Jason Hunt. Name will not be silenced. No. Sean Hunt will definitely not be silenced. No. This story is not. This is just the beginning, man. We're gonna follow this. We're gonna go on. There's a lot of layers to this.
Yes.
And the bottom line, it's tragic as hell. And like you said, there was. It is what it is. Freaking murder. It was deliberate. All those things that you said. And here for you to share this and then to try to put some positive into such a negative, we're going to come out. We're going to attack this and say his name.
Say his name.
Jason Hunt.
And hashtag justice for Jason.
Let's see before I trash this place. And here we go. There you go.
That's my baby. Jason.
That's the singer. That's the artist. That's the hugger. That's the jokester. That's the lily man. That is Stormy's nemesis. That is your sister. Like All right. I'll say it. Well, you didn't say it right, did you? Okay. You're getting weird. You're getting weird. Say it right. He said, no, what was it?
He tell her I said.
And
Jason, I said, not he said, I said.
and that was say his name. I mean, there's a
Mhm.
whole meaning to this, and we'll get into that too next time.
Yeah.
But man, Sean, you are incredible. Jason Hunt, incredible. You know, I just this is it's been a joy getting to know you,
Yeah.
and like I said, we've got a lot of layers
Yeah.
to do, and yeah, I want to thank you so much for your time, sharing such a story such as this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just showed. But then again, hearing these stories about you and your kids and that bond, and like you said, man, this ain't going anywhere.
No.
And it's just a pleasure, and looking forward to taking this as far as you want.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you have anything else you want to add on to this, or do you want to save anything for the next? Whatever you want to do, Sean. What do you think?
Jason, he was full of life. He was very charismatic. He was about his swag, that's for sure. He was about his swag. My child has 50 baseball caps, okay? 50 baseball caps.
I knew we liked each other. I've got all right 50, but
Almost.
no,
He has, and they are all nice, inexpensive. My son was very expensive. He was exquisite. I have to tell you that. Very exquisite. And he was just a lovable person. Anybody that came in contact with Jason knows that about Jason, and it's undeniable. People would call on him when they needed him, and he was always there. He made himself available. Jason made himself available to his mama when she was going through stuff. That was my counselor. Oh, soul, and gave me so much advice. He was just full of good things and would tell me if I was wrong. Didn't have a problem with telling his mama, "You're wrong for that. You need to apologize. You can't do that." So
he got that from Mama. I mean,
yeah,
there. I will be there to stand up for you, and I will smack you down when needed.
yes,
And
he wasn't afraid.
well, his
to
own
tell
word,
me,
like you said, I got you.
I got you. That was,
I got you.
I got you. If I needed something, and I'm like, well, how am I get that? I got you. Don't worry about it, Ma. I got you. And the same thing with his brother. He would, I got you. And his brother would be like, I got you, baby bro. I got you. And my oldest son, he he lost his best friend. That wasn't just his brother. That was his bestest friend in the whole wide world. And he done lost his best friend. That was our best friend. And his brother just don't know what to do with himself now. He was used to coming home to chaos. His brother would be making so much noise or have the TV blaring or the music going, but that was Jason. And that's what his big brother loved and now miss. He comes home to silence, to nothing. And he's having a rough time with that. He had to downgrade to a 1-bedroom apartment, not taking his little brother's things with him, coming back home to me. And so that was a heavy hitter for him and I, because he had to move his things without his brother. I had to move his things back home into his room. And my oldest is not doing good. He's not doing good with us at all.
Well, Sean, you've got uh, so many people have reached out since hearing about this, and the love and support and positive words. And I know I'll be sharing them with you after we go through them all. But you and your son are not alone. We are here for you. We will anything you need that we can help, and we are going to continue to help. Like I said, this isn't over. This is Jason Hunt. His name. Say his name. Say his name. Is the voice will not be silenced.
No.
Sean Hunt's name will not be silenced. Jason Hunt's name will not be silenced. So we are going to be coming on again. We'll set up a date. We'll set up another time, and we're going to do what we got to do to get the message out there.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be, how long it takes, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? We're here, and if there's anything more, you reach out to us, and we'll do everything we can as well.
Okay.
But you know what? Other than that, man, I thank you so much, and
Thank you.
and we are gonna be here for you every step of the way.
I appreciate that.
So, Sean, thank you. OG, thank you for going through. I know that you've got a list over there, and all of you guys, man. There's too much violence, senseless violence that are, it's the pain that you see is real. And, Sean is sitting here to get this word out. And we are going to do that in the next series as well, to hopefully make some sense and to put a positive on here, because you know why? That's what Jason Hunt is about. Positivity, love, hugs. I love you. I got you for real, for real.
Yep.
And that's going to be heard, and it'll never go away. So again, Sean, thank you. And
Thank you.
I will be posting once we talk, we will figure out a date and we'll go from there. Until then, though, thank you guys. And please tell the ones you love how much you love them. Don't assume, don't just say they know. Tell them, let them know. Tell them. So you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. Keep fighting the good fight.